Peace, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to Life Hacks. Um, Today, we're going to talk about memory loss. Now, as you know, we don't actually lose memory. The brain stores all those memories there. They're there. It's just, sometimes it'd be a little difficult to recapture those memories. So, I want to talk about what we can do to regain old memories and to make a memory better. So, the one thing that I've found that works is sparking nostalgia, right? So a lot of times nostalgia just happens out of the blue. When we use our four senses, when we see something, smell something, hear something, taste something, you know, and maybe feel something. And and nostalgia happens and it takes us back into a memory or to a time, place, or a person. So what I want to talk about is how to spark that nostalgia on demand to bring back memories and make your memories better. So, and it's something I found that works is for me, it's hearing. Hearing things brings back memories faster for me and it makes my memories better. And the one thing that helps for me is personally is the Slick Rick. Um I play the old Slick Rick album because it was the first album that I owned as a kid. It was my first tape ever, first rap tape. I still remember the white tape, and and I play it, and all of my childhood memories start flooding back. Things I didn't remember, things I didn't recall, um, certain people, and I just take that line and I just run. It's like a ladder. So I think of it like a ladder. I just get on it and I just start climbing it, and I start remembering things. You know, and that works for me. And I'm also an avid chess player. Like I play a lot of chess, and I find that when I do this, if I'm really about to, trying to keep my score up, I'm entering a tournament, I'm bumping old school music, things from my childhood, things that's going to bring back memories. Because in turn, what that actually does is it just makes those synapses stronger, those brain cells, and it makes more connections in the brain, right? Okay. Um, so whatever you need to do, and visually for me, it's RoboCop. Watched the old RoboCop movie, and as I'm watching it, I'm going through old memories. I'm thinking about the trip on the way to the theater, what happened afterwards, and it's just refiring off, those brain cells, making more connections. So just think about that. Spark nostalgia. Go back to your childhood. Find those old things in your childhood and just dig into them. And, because it's important for us not to lose our childhood selves anyway. We have to, can't forget where we came from. And we always want to keep that imagination as a child, So try that. All right. So the second hack is remembering things like people's names, remembering places, street names, products that you're interested in. You can't remember it. So what I like to do is go through the alphabet, right? I go through all the alphabets and I sound them off in my head, right? And as I'm sounding them off, I'm really striving to remember that person's name or that thing, And I never make it to Z, or unless it started with a Z, right? And and if it doesn't work, just go through it again. It doesn't take long. Just concentrate on each alphabet, and I promise you, it'll work. You're gonna remember that person's name. You're gonna remember that thing. It's gonna jump out. It's gonna, as they say, pop into your head, right? So for a lot of us, it may take a little something stronger. Um, People like me who have brain damage, who had head trauma in the past, on a personal note. I've suffered a um, I've been shot in the head a long time ago, so I've suffered traumatic brain damage, and but I've been fortunate enough to have all my motor functions and everything. Just lost big gaps in memory. I lost a lot of memory. Sometimes I can't recall things, can't recall people and places, and and it took me on a journey to figure out how to make my memory better. So for those of us who are like that, we can use supplements, right? Or not. But I use supplements. And some of the things I found that work for me are one, lion's mane. When I take these, I can remember my dreams. I have vivid dreams. I remember my dreams in the daytime. I like to go back into my dreams to figure out like if there were any hidden messages, you know, to try to discern whether it was a vision or a dream, and it helps. Next, it's kind of cliche, but they work. Is Noriva, right? Uh, these things help. They're not just for elderly people; they're for all of us. It helps the brain, keeps the brain healthy, and they work. Next up is the 10-in-1 mushrooms. I use these; they help my memory as well. So I don't take all of these things at one time. I usually take like, you know, one. If I forget to take one, I take the other, something like that. I just hop around and yeah, and it helps. And and I know it's also cliche, but exercise helps. It helps with a lot of things. But exercise helps to flood the brain with oxygen and it just helps to have that electricity run through your brain more, you know. So try that. Okay? All right. That's all I got for you today with life hacks, but I got some more hacks coming up. Some more hacks, more interesting hacks. I promise you, you're gonna love them. In the meantime, you can check me out on neutral99.com, 999.com, where we represent for the few of us who stand alone, who don't belong to anything, you know, and we do our own thing. We don't belong to any clubs, gangs, church, uh, religions, or groups. We're just our own people. And there are a lot of us out there like that who don't rely on anyone. We're just um, self-sufficient, and that's what that represents. And it also, uh, the movement also is striving to end gang initiation. I've been around a lot of OGs. Uh, I'm an OG. I've just never been in a gang. I've done everything gang members done. I've been in the life. I've been dug in all that. I just don't belong anywhere, right? And there are a lot of us out there like that. But it's just a bad look. That's what's going on today with these gangs with so many young dudes, 12 to 15, coming into these gangs, being initiated when they should be in school. So I want to strive to change that up, change the gang initiation, change, the rules behind it, you know. So we'll see what happens. It's just starting. Let's see what's up. Let's do something new. Till next time. Peace.